what a start. Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess.
Hello crafty pals, it's Lee here. Welcome to the Makers Creative Collaboration video hop for September. The Makers Creative Collaboration is a Facebook group run by Mariah and Patricia from PM Artist Studio. So they organise this every month. If you would like to visit their channel, there's a link in my video description. I would also like to say a big thank you to those ladies. They do a wonderful job. Their channel is so awesome. It's just full of inspiration and experimentation, and I thoroughly recommend you having a look at it. If you're looking to break out of, the box, think outside the square, try new things. It's a lot of fun. And they do live shows 3 days a week, I think it is. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. So at the end of this video, there's a link to the next video in the hop. So click on that to see what the next amazing artist has created. The theme for September is striking sticks. And my landscape's been made from sticks, leaves and bark that I collected while Luna and I were out on our morning walks. The background has been made from fabric that I extracted from a chindi rag rug, and I just organised that on the page, going from dark at the top down to light colours at the bottom with highlights of different colours. So I was trying to replicate like a sunset sky with streaks of orange and yellow and purple and red in the sky. The glue I used to stick my fabric to the canvas was PVA craft glue. Once it was dry, I then dry brushed some gold paint across it for some highlights. The bark that's on the trees and on those logs, I found that at the bottom of a tree. The park had just recently been mown, and I think that was knocked off the tree by the bloke with the whippersnipper. I gave that a good spray with matte varnish before I started using it to try and keep it together. All the twigs have been painted black with a really thin black paint, and then I used colour shift paint over the top of it. So those little seed pods, they're off a gum tree, but they got put in the black paint, and then I've used different colour highlights. I was trying to make it look like perhaps, that was the last sunlight of the day reflecting off the trees. My little leaf trees, they were gum leaf and a stick, and I bound them together with some twine, and then I painted some highlights on them, so I have a few in my little landscape. That's the seed pods off the gum trees. I used hot glue to stick everything down. I did try to disguise the hot glue with some paint, but it doesn't really paint over very well. So my idea was that it's like a dead sort of forest with a lot of debris on the ground. This thing, I'm not sure what that's off, but it's some sort of seed pod. And I grabbed that when I saw it, and I've just glued those other little seed pods on. They don't belong with that. The rock there, that was a piece of purple fabric that I stuck onto the canvas and then painted it to make it look like it had some contours in it. I also used some blue paint to paint along the horizon to make it look like there were some trees off in the distance. A lot of that got covered up, but you can still see it, and I still think it has that effect. So I used pink and orange and yellow and green and blues to put my little highlights on everywhere. My birds were made from just a little fork in the twigs. So I cut them off in various sizes. I glued 5 of them on and then painted the rest on. Here's a close-up of how I bound those twigs together. This is how they started off. And then I bound them with the string and then glued the bark on top. And this is my little leaf trees. Here's my completed project. I hope I've given you some ideas of how you might be able to make something like this yourself if you want to experiment with things that you find in nature, plus a few other things that you find about the house. So my husband hasn't yet discovered that the bath mat is missing. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video. So bye for now. Cheers from Australia. Hooroo!